September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed. Every time that you pick up the phone, and I had control in the driver's seat.
Attention passengers, please be sure to keep the aisle and exit rows clear. Somebody might need to make an escape.
Hello, Jolanta. Nice to see you here. I'm so happy that you accept my invitation. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm very good. I'm also very happy to be here, and I hope that we can maybe motivate and some other colleagues or future flight attendants, and I hope that we can give them some useful informations.
You look very nice, tanned. You are in some exotic place, I think, right? Where are you now?
It's maybe because just my skin is a little bit darker, but yeah, I'm in Malta and summer just started, so it's quite yeah, it started to be very exotic now.
So nice. Well, some words about me. We are actually working in the same field in the VIP industry. We are flying VIP aircrafts and we are hosting VIP passengers. So you created an amazing app actually. And I have some questions to go through today. We go through together. And before that, I would like to ask you a couple of questions like, who are you? What have you done so far? What was the whole idea behind of this?
Yeah, thank you so much. As you said, I'm also a VIP flight attendant. I have started to work in this industry 8 years ago. So when I was 20, I started to fly as a cabin crew on the airline, but I didn't like it very much as I was used to work in a gastronomy, in a very good restaurants in Czech Republic and Prague, and it didn't work for me very well because the cabin crew job on the airline, it's much different. And so then I just discovered that there is something like a private planes, and I was just thinking that maybe I can connect my experience from the really like a fine dining restaurants together with flying and being flight attendant. It was not that easy because it was in a time when there was a little crisis in aviation. So I was struggling a lot to get a job, but finally I was successful. And I started to fly first on a Hawker 900, and then I was flying a few years on Gulfstream 200. So that's basically it. And then I started to look for something also abroad, not only in Czech Republic. And I was lucky enough to get a very good job flying for the owner only, which was a little bit different experience because you most like fixed to his program and his preferences, and I was standby 24/7 for 2-3 years with him, so it was a bit different, but it also allowed me to meet different companies, different people, and the industry much more. So I started to fly as a freelancer also a lot. So I experienced flying with different companies, different aircrafts, many different aircrafts, and different colleagues, different crews. And that was a problem because I realized, and I was very surprised about that there is no system at all in these companies how to support communication between flight attendants. It was really good at the stage from like operations. So I was receiving all the informations about the flights and from where to where, how many passengers, catering requests and that. But what I was not receiving was the information about the cabin and galley. So starting with the catering what's on board, like drinks and all the other stuff, cosmetics, slippers, whatever, but also about the galley equipment. That sometimes when I was flying small planes, I was not sure if there is a microwave or not. And sometimes the pilots were also freelancers, so even they couldn't tell me. And that's how my idea started, because I was missing the informations and I wanted to bring some structure into that.
That's great. I totally understand. So I really believe that a lot of flight attendants would get benefit from this app, because you put an order on everything and you make it easier for some freelancer to jump into the plane and know exactly what she has on board, know exactly where everything is stored, and etc. So
yeah, exactly what you're saying, and especially the things like what's necessary to buy or what's necessary to supply for the next flight. That was my primary problem, because, and especially on the smaller aircraft, very often happened that the aircraft was overloaded because they were using only freelancers as a flight attendants, and they didn't communicate with each other. So all flight attendants, they were bringing water, cokes, sweets, and it's a big problem when you have 30 bottles of water more on board than you should have, because you probably you will not have a space for a passenger luggage.
I know, right?
Yeah. So, and that was a big problem, and not only for me but for the pilots. It was too much weight, it was just too much space, and that's why I started to think,
complaining, and everybody then is wondering who did this, what was this miscommunication,
gossiping, she did that, no, she did that, and she didn't do that, and everything. And I was just like wondering that we were using so many apps for operations and crew duty planning and fuel and planning the flights and all this technical stuff, but there was nothing for us as a cabin crew, as a flight attendant. So I started to think how to do it. The biggest problem is that it's quite expensive to develop the mobile app. So I was thinking if I should involve some investor into that, but then I decided no, I'm gonna to do it on my own. So I have invested my own money into the project.
Wow, that's amazing. And do you have some technical experience, like with apps or programming? Do you know about this stuff, or you just found somebody?
No, I know. I didn't know. I didn't know anything about the mobile app development. Everything, or what I know about mobile apps was that you can download them and just use them. That was all basically. But I have to say that I was very lucky about the developers team. I have a really good project manager, and his team of the developers is really brilliant. I was very lucky. They did a great job. We created the app in 7 months. So that was really so fast and very well done job from their side. But of course, from my side, that we were basically able to communicate very effectively between each other. So that was perfect.
Do you think that this app could also be useful for airline flight attendants?
I'm not sure. We were thinking about that. At some stage it could be, but we will have to do so many changes about the functions. I think that it would be based on the similar structure, but we will have to change a lot. I think that it's more suitable just for BizJets operators and crews.
Okay, I understand. And what kind of information does the app need?
From us, from the users, the current version of the mobile app, which is available for free, just needs your email and your name and surname. Yeah, that's all what we need. Unfortunately, it's not possible to run this kind of app without any user informations, and especially the email address, as it's connected with sending these final post-flight PDF briefing to the email. So we needed to proceed the functionality how we need it. So basically, you can create your account via Google, via Apple ID, or just create Nelly App user login.
But since you are telling me I have to upload the briefing, in the briefing there are some information that I should not share with other people. So is the app secure if I'm sharing the passenger names with their passport numbers and etc.? Is it secure?
You're not sharing the informations like that. It has nothing to do with the passenger information. So there is no passenger details, and also not your details like your passport number or anything else. So that's what you're not using in this app. The only thing what I found very useful is to fill in aircraft registration, because that's very easy how to communicate to your colleagues. But you don't have to do it. You don't have to put your aircraft registration in the app. You can use some nickname, for example. You can use your name and just fill it in somehow that your colleague will know which aircraft is it. Or if the aircraft has some nickname, you can use the nickname, or you can just type a non-available or NA or whatever. So we're not using any kind of very confidential and risky information. By the way, app was approved by Google and Apple without any problems. So that means that it's already very well secured, let's say.
I understand. So what is your favorite feature on this application?
My favorite is that I don't forget about anything, because in app you have like a checklist by checklist. So you have all the items there, and you're just filling in the informations, or you ticking the box, or you filling in the amount of the drinks, and the app is telling you what you should provide to your colleague. So that's what I love. And as I love to have everything structured and nice, so I really love this PDF, because I think that it looks really good, and how it's structured, it's also very easy to read it. So you're not lost in like long email text or long WhatsApp message, let's say. It's really very nicely structured, column by column, and that's what I like the most.
That's great, amazing. So that's it, actually. I think you covered all my questions. I would like to ask you if you want to add something, if you think that we missed something about the whole information topic. I love your app already, actually. I'm gonna use it with some nickname.
That's perfect. No, I just wanted to you flying as a freelancer, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Nowadays,
yeah. Okay, so that's what I feel very important about the app. It's also a very good way how to present yourself to the companies more professional, because when some company is hiring you, and it's, for example, last minute flight, or you don't have very much information about the company, and you're not familiar with their procedures, because that could happen, and it happens to all of us. So after you leaving, after your duty, you finishing with them, and you are sending them something like this, it's showing you as like in a better light, let's say, that you really take care about, even if they are not your colleagues, like permanent colleagues, that you really care what happened after you leaving. So and especially in these days, companies are using more and more freelancers, and more girls are self-employed. So I think it's a really good tool how to present yourself to the companies much more professional and well organized.
That it's better to put them, to write down all the a real information, right?
Yeah, actually, it's. I think that, you know what, about the information, it's a big discussion. But let's take, and you know it from your job, from your practice, who has your details, starting with your passport. In how many hands your passport is before you getting to the aircraft, for example. And I'm not talking about European, like really nice airports when something like that doesn't happen, but in some countries, you know, it's even they taking copies. They are just, you'd never know. And of course, we all are using applications like Leon or FlexCrew or Jetex, and all these informations already, it is already in there. So I think that the Nelly app is the last one who would use some sensitive information. I think we're not collecting something like that.
That's great. That's great to point it out so people feel safe with it and use it every day.
Yeah, look, we all have Facebook, we all have Instagram, your email is there. Anyway, your phone number is there. So I think that this is something what you should be very careful about. And we have been really very careful about it once we were creating our privacy policy together with lawyers, and it costed a lot of money, and it also cost a lot of time to do it properly, because it's very strict now, because everyone is really very careful about it.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah, so that's so I just suggest to the flight attendants to go through the app, check it how it works. I also want to say that I'm very happy to answer all the questions in person, so everyone can just text me, send me the email, or just contact me via our social medias. And I'm very happy to set or schedule some video call, maybe even with some bigger group of flight attendants, and just present them how to use the app. So that's my first message. And the second message is that if someone wants to get involved into this project, there is the option how to do it. So I will be very happy to create some bigger chain of flight attendants and involve them into this project. It could be also very beneficial for them.
Amazing, great. Thank you so much, Jolanta. It was nice to meeting you. This whole day we were talking about the app and trying to schedule this appointment. I'm so happy that we finally did it. So we will keep in touch, and maybe we do some other kind of presentation in the future.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. I hope to see you soon again.
Thanks.
I wish you a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.